I'd like to call the Zoning Board of Appeals for Tuesday, May 17th, 2022 to order. Will the city call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Defoe.
Here.
Ms. Selesny. Ms. Selesny. Mr. Friedman.
Here.
Mr. Rogers.
Here.
Mr. Weigel.
Here.
Mr. Havas.
Here.
Ma'am, you have Madam Chair, you have a quorum to conduct business.
Thank you. Are there any communications?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. So we will move into our public hearing. If you have not joined us previously, we'll just explain briefly how we conduct business. We'll call each case by the case number. The city will read a brief introduction of that case. We ask the appellant to step to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and explain to us what you're asking for and why. Then the city will read some findings of facts. We'll ask you to agree with those or add anything at that time. Then there will be a staff recommendation, and then you still have another opportunity to add to anything that you would like to add to the case at that time as well. Then the board will open it for public comment. If anybody wishes to speak on that case, that would be your opportunity. And then we'll turn it over to the board to discuss and make a decision. So will the city call the first case, please?
Yes, ma'am. Zoning Board of Appeals case number 22-10. The appellant, Teresa Bailey of Kindle Design Build, representing the owner, Yvette Stroman, is requesting the following waiver from the board to add an addition to square off the back of the house, which is a non-conforming setback. The property is located on the southeast side of Maple Ridge between Lee Baker Drive and Phillips Drive at 23570 Maple Ridge Drive, Sidwell parcel 2426376-011, zoned R4, single-family residential. This appeal is to section 5.193, article 22, chapter 45 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the zoning ordinance.
Okay, hi. Is the appellant here? Hi there.
Hello, Zach Astroff, 2640 Water Oaks Drive, West Bloomfield, Michigan, 48324.
Thank you. And
Teresa Bailey, 401 Pearson, Ferndale, Michigan.
great, thank you. You could just explain to us what you're asking for and why, please.
Yes, so again, I drew up the plans for the addition.
Please speak into the microphone more.
Okay, is that better? All right, so yeah, I drew up the proposed plans for the proposed addition, and basically we're asking, we've got a pre-existing non-conforming house, and we're trying to square off the house with a one-story addition with materials, like materials, and we're not making a nonconformity any worse than it currently is. We meet all the other guidelines, setback, side yard setback, lot coverage, that sort of thing. It's a modest addition, and if you have any other questions, please let me know.
Okay, can you just pass the microphone, please?
Yep. Thank you. The purpose for this addition is, Zach has described the addition and how it pertains to zoning and to code and to lot coverage. The purpose for this addition is so that the homeowner can create a first floor master suite for herself, and so that she can age in place in the home. So currently the second bathroom, the bathroom that would be a master bathroom and that can be created or remodeled in such a way that it's appropriate for ADA, is all the way around the side of the house. By doing this addition, we can create a master closet that she can walk through and connect it to the bathroom that we will remodel, which is part of will be part of the permit request, but we can connect it, as you can see. So she'll be able to move in and out. That will allow her to not have to go out to use the hall bathroom, and to, if she needed somebody to be in the home to help care for her, they would have separate space too. So essentially it's creating this allows us, this addition, to create a master suite so that the homeowner can age in place in the home, which is her desire.
Okay, thank you. Will the staff read in a moment? We're going to bring that back up. It went to sleep on us.
I do have one thing to add, if possible. So the homeowner did, I asked her to talk to her neighbors to make sure that there were no objections that we might want to attempt to overcome or address prior to, or so that we were aware of that. Mm-hmm. And I do have a letter that if you're interested in, I can read or submit to the committee in support of this addition from her next door neighbors.
Is it the Carringtons?
It's the Masseys.
Oh, okay, so we will need to receive that one if you want to,
Absolutely.
okay,
Do
yeah,
you want me
because
to
we
bring
have,
it up
yep,
to
you
you?
can bring it up and give it right here to the secretary, please, thank you.
That's me.
Oh. Okay, will the staff read the findings of fact, please?
Yes, ma'am. Findings of fact, case number 22-10. The appellant Teresa Bailey of Kindle Design Build, representing the owner Yvette Stroman, is requesting the following waiver from the board to add an addition to square off the back of the house, which has a non-conforming setback. The property is located on the southeast side of Maple Ridge between Lee Baker Drive and Phillip Drive at 23570 Maple Ridge Drive, Sidwell parcel 2426376-011, zoned R4, single-family residential. This appeal is to Section 5.193, Article 22, Chapter 45 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the zoning ordinance. The properties to the north, southeast, and west are zoned R4, single-family residential, and are developed with single-family dwellings in the Washington Village Subdivision Number 1. Field inspections of the surrounding area reveals the properties to the north, southeast, and west are a mixture of 1- and 2-story single-family dwellings. The exteriors are made of mostly of brick and siding. Most of the homes in the area have attached garages, except for a few homes that have detached garages or no garage. The construction of surrounding properties ranges from 1,400 square feet to 2,500 square feet. The surrounding properties are mostly legal, non-conforming, with deficient lot sizes, setbacks, and lot coverage requirements. The subject property was built in 1952 and is a 1,464 square foot ranch, single-family residence with an attached single garage on a full basement. The appellant proposes to construct a 1-story, 96 square foot addition on a legal, non-conforming single-family residence. The variance request for 3 feet 8 inch reduction in rear yard setback, 21 feet 4 inches proposed, 25 feet required.
Great, thank you very much. Do you agree with those facts?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to add at this time?
No, we don't.
Okay, will the city read the staff recommendation, please?
Staff recommendation is for favorable consideration of the following waiver for a 3 foot 8 inch setback reduction, 21 feet 4 inches proposed, 25 feet required, for a legal non-conforming rear yard setback for a 96 square foot addition, with the following conditions. The appellant secures all the required permits and clearances to construct a new addition to the residence in the city of Southfield. The new addition meets the requirements of the 2015 Michigan Residential Code. This recommendation is based on the following. Due to the existing legal non-conforming residence on the parcel, the strict application of the ordinance would result in impractical difficulties and hardships to the owner and would not impair the intent and purpose of the ordinance. And the requested waiver for setback is minor in nature and would not have an adverse effect upon adjacent or surrounding properties.
Great, thank you. Anything else you'd like to add at this point?
No, thank you.
Okay, great. At this point, we would open it up to public comment. If there's anyone who's with us that would like to speak to this case, now would be your opportunity to come forward and share any comments you have. And seeing none, we'll close public comment and turn it over to the board. Mr. Wygum?
I have no problem with this. I met the owner, I was over there, and I thought it was an empty house at the time, and I went around, and there was a nice little table there and a chair. I sat down, and I spread out the map, and she says, "What are you doing here?" Anyway, I have no problem with this, and I just wish them well.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Rogers?
I also have no problem with it. It's very modest, and it doesn't really change anything that's there right now.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Friedman?
I have no issues with it.
Thank you. Mr. Havis?
I have no issues with it. It's a minor addition, and they have neighborhood support, so I agree with it.
Great, thank you. I also agree, and thank you for mentioning the neighbors' support. We need to read those into the record, please.
Okay. We have received 2 letters, one provided by the appellant just now, and one received by the building department. The first one is from Phil Carrington of 23555 Maple Ridge Drive. It says, "Dear City Council Board Members, this letter is to express my solid support for the proposed waiver by Teresa Bailey of Kendall Design and Build. I am confident that the applicant's proposed addition to the structure on the parcel will improve the parcel as improvements will not be inconsistent with other land uses within the subdivision. Sincerely, Phil Carrington. The next letter is from Craig and Alma Massey. And it states, "We live at 23580 Maple Ridge and are neighbors of Yvette Stroman. We are aware that she would like to add a small addition that would square off her house and allow her to create a master suite in her home. This addition will be an improvement in the property value and will not have any negative impact on us in any way. We are writing in support of this addition. Yvette has been our neighbor for 25 years and takes wonderful care of her home. She continues to invest in it and improve our neighborhood and community by doing this addition. We hope that Yvette will stay here for years to come. Thank you for your consideration, Craig and Alma Massey."
Great, thank you. I also have no concerns about this. Who would like to make a motion? Mr. Rogers, you want to make a motion for us?
Sure. In regard to ZBA case number 22-10, the appellant Teresa Bailey of Kendall Design Build, representing the owner Yvette Stroman, is requesting the following waiver from the board to add an addition to square off the back of the house, which has a non-conforming setback. The property is located on the southeast side of Maple Ridge between Lee Baker Drive and Philp Drive at 23570 Maple Ridge Drive, Sidwell parcel 2426376011, zoned R4, single-family residential. I make a motion to support this waiver for a 21.3-foot setback on a legal
Actually, Mr. Rogers, can I stop you for a second? Can you use the sheet that staff passed out at the beginning? It makes an addition, a little change in that number 1.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Say that again?
Number 1 changed on the sheet that the staff handed out when we arrived.
Okay.
Do you see it? It just changes it from the 21.6 to the 3.8. Just right under the recommendation.
A 3-foot 8-inch setback reduction, 21-foot 4-inch proposed, 25-foot required for a legal non-conforming rear yard setback for a 96-square-foot addition with the following conditions. The appellant secures all the required permits and clearances to construct a new addition to a residence in the city of Southfield, and that the new addition meets the requirements of the 2015 Michigan Residential Code. I make this motion due to the existing legal non-conforming residence on the parcel, the strict application of the ordinance would result in impractical difficulties and hardship to the owner. It would not impair the intent and purpose of the ordinance. And the requested waiver for setback is minor in nature and would not have an adverse effect upon adjacent or surrounding properties.
Great, thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, your request is granted. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Okay, so that closes our public hearing, and we now move on to approval of minutes from our last meeting from April 19th. Did anybody see any corrections or changes or have any concerns?
It's fine with me.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes for April 19th?
I so move.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved, and then looks like our next meeting is scheduled for June 7th, and we have 3 residential cases,
Correct.
correct? Okay, is there
The,
anything else?
23006 has some conditions that probably everyone needs to be made aware of in the findings of fact. It's a demolition of a house, and they've requested to leave the garage, but it's under a court order. So it'll be, it's
Okay.
there's more to it than just a regular waiver.
Okay,
The other thing about, that I would like to mention, that city council, it's rumored that city council meeting scheduled for June 20th has moved to Tuesday because of Juneteenth. And we wouldn't be able to have a meeting here on Tuesday. That's a vicious rumor that I've heard. I don't know if it's actual fact yet, but it's something we need to consider and look at our scheduling.
okay. Do we have any cases right
I
now in
don't,
for the
I don't know
20th?
that yet. I have to get
Okay.
with Brianna to
Okay.
make sure there's none do get scheduled for that week, because I think we're going to have to postpone it to the following meeting date.
Okay.
I have a question. The 2212 Gulfview, do you know what that is?
He said that's the demolition.
What?
It's a demolition, court ordered.
Ah, yes. I've been complaining about that because I live right on Gulfview, and it isn't Drive, it's just Gulfview.
Oh,
Oh, I'm just reading what's on the sheet.
I know,
yeah,
but it's wrong.
okay. Okay, any miscellaneous? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Can I have-
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.